Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. Woo, man. I saw this Kaepernick receiving Citizen of the Year award. I'm sure you're aware of it at this point. And I'm just floored by that. I'm not surprised. I'm really not. The funny thing about it is this is one of these things where, signs are what they are. I know what you're thinking right now. You're like, Kevin, how could they possibly make this guy Citizen of the Year? What? Seriously? And didn't you start to think, like, who else could there have been? I mean, there's people that do some amazing things in this world. And you want to make Colin Kaepernick Citizen of the Year? It makes me wonder, GQ, what are you trying to do? Publicity stunt? You want to get people outraged? Or are you trying to tap into that emotional content of, oh, there's a lot of people that'll buy our magazine because, we're so avant-garde, cutting edge. Barack Obama got the Nobel Peace Prize and he waged 3 wars. Hillary Clinton got the Wonder Woman Award when she got her butt kicked by Super Trump. And then that's not enough to make you wonder about these stupid awards. Bruce Jenner won Glamour's Woman of the Year Award. That's right. And now we get this other one. I mean, think about what I just said and tell me, how does the left possibly think we're the ones who are twisted? I mean, if I was having a discussion with the left and I said to you, look, before we even get started, before you even give me your rationale for whatever you're thinking, I want to remind you of this. You gave the Nobel Peace Prize to a dude who done nothing, and he was in the middle of waging 3 wars. You gave the Wonder Woman Award to Hillary Clinton, a woman who watched females be raped and harassed by her husband and many others, and you gave the Woman of the Year Award to a man. Do we still need to have a discussion? No, Kev, you're right. I mean, okay, see you next time. Now we get Colin Kaepernick Citizen of the Year? How did this selection process go? I'm just curious. Who do you submit? I mean, I know Mother Teresa's gone, Gandhi's gone, and Martin Luther King and others, but for the sake of discussion, I'm sure at some point those people would have won something similar maybe. So what would you say if I gave you those 3 people and Colin Kaepernick, and GQ, I guarantee you would select Colin Kaepernick over all those folks as a Citizen of the Year. You see how fast I said that? Sound like I was drunk. As a Citizen of the Year. Citizen of the Year. As a Citizen of the Year. Here's what they wrote about him. He's been vilified by millions, locked out of the NFL, all because he took a knee to protest police brutality. But Colin Kaepernick's determined stand put him in rare company in sports history. Muhammad Ali, Jackie Robinson, athletes who risk everything to make a difference. Man, could we have a discussion around those guys? He is still, to this day, one of the most gifted quarterbacks on earth. And yet, he's been locked out of the game he loves, blackballed, because of one simple gesture. He knelt during the playing of our national anthem, and he did it for a clear reason, one that has been lost in the year-long storm that followed. He did it to protest systematic oppression, and more specifically, as he said repeatedly at the time, police brutality towards black people. That's how they write the story of Colin Kaepernick. Man. In their announcement, they suggest to you that a man who in 2014 signed a 6-year contract for $126 million to play a sport has been victimized. See, when the San Francisco 49ers signed that contract with Colin Kaepernick, they didn't sign him on to become a social justice warrior. When he went to college, wherever he went, whatever his degree, it did not mean he could bring his social justice warrior attitude or anything else to the job. They brought him on because he could throw a football, run a football, and read a defense. That's it. Kaepernick deserves to play, they argue. Then GQ pretends that as if Kaepernick's talents resemble great quarterbacks of today, like Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady. Yeah, it's arguable. I don't think he does. Kevin, he's an amazing quarterback. He's really good. Of the quarterbacks in the league, he's number 14 or what? Great. So, you know what? The number 14 quarterback in the league, for all intents and purposes, let me play. Because I'm going to end up, his team's going to end up in the same place. If I quarterback or if the 14 guy quarterbacks. Out of the playoffs and in trouble. So, what are you talking about? He could get him, what? He could make him, 5-13 or what's in the 5-11. They don't play 18 games. Congratulations. You know what people want in a quarterback? Somebody who can win games, take their team to the Super Bowl, and the way you do that is you build cohesion. See, the league is 70% black, but it's 30% other. And despite what Colin Kaepernick may believe, there are many good players out there who aren't black. And they are not down with his cause. They don't want to be put on the spot for his cause. They want to come into a cohesive locker room and they want to just do their jobs and go home to their wives and kids, to their nice wives, their trophy wives, and their really pretty kids. And they want to go home to their multi-million-dollar homes in their exclusive neighborhoods and get their endorsements and a host of other things. They don't want to be bothered with Colin Kaepernick and whatever he may have going on. Kaepernick deserves to play. What GQ didn't tell you is Kaepernick is bad for business. See, the left doesn't want you to understand that football is not all about being social justice warriors. It's about playing a game that's a business. Ask ESPN. I've been talking about it. I've been talking about how no matter how these people look at this, they got to understand that business as they've seen it before has changed. That's what I really want to get into today, just for the record. I mean, I'm going to be discussing Keurig, the coffee people, here in a little bit. But I want to go back to something. They compared Colin Kaepernick's activism to that of Muhammad Ali. And Muhammad Ali during the 60s making a statement against the Vietnam War. See, Ali refused to fight in a war for a government who treated black people as second-class citizens. And Ali says, I ain't never seen one of these little Vietnamese people call a black man the N-word, but I've watched people here in our government do it and treat black people like crap. And Ali was right about the treatment of blacks 5 decades earlier. Thus, Ali's activism was during the racially tense moments of the 60s. We all remember them. And the tensions were high. This was the peak of the civil rights movement. A government controlled by Democrats who saw the acquiescing of power as giving in to blacks. That was the black people to give into. The ones who cared about this country. The ones who said, just give us a fair shake. The Martin Luther King blacks. Giving into these blacks today is crazy. Kaepernick doesn't have an inkling of an idea of the oppression of Muhammad Ali. Nothing close. He's never seen it. The closest he's come to it is in books. He's never seen it. He can give you an anecdote here. Oh yeah, one of my brothers, he went into a store and a white dude, worked there, was following him around. Yeah, but he didn't tell you about the 50 other black dudes that went in there ripping people off. He didn't talk about that. See, people today, they don't care. They're looking at it strictly, who is going to, in other words, the store owner doesn't care whether white people are stealing or black people are stealing. If white people come in and steal, they will follow them around. They don't care. These people want to make it oppression. Kaepernick and his ilk are not oppressed unless driving $250,000 cars and living in multi-million-dollar homes is the new definition of oppression. Most of the black NFL players live in mostly white neighborhoods, and many of them are married to white women. Now, you try doing that in the 60s, where they would exclude you from those neighborhoods, and don't you doggone try to marry a white woman. Even black people would correct you marrying out your race. And I mentioned Kaepernick donating money. Donated to a charity after a cop killer. I mentioned this earlier. Her name was Assata Shakur. If you know the name, Tupac Shakur, kin to him. $25,000 donation to a group of a convicted cop killer. Assata's daughters is who he donated to. More when we come back, folks. Got to take a short break. Keep it here.
Kevin Jackson
on the Black Sphere Radio Network.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.